Imagine, for a moment, stepping outside the boundaries of your own existence. A place where nothing familiar exists. No land, no sky, no stars, no planets, no Earth. Only an unimaginable sea of dark, empty space. Time itself feels like a distant echo, a faint whisper of something far too large for us to fully grasp. It's almost as though you've entered a place of no beginning and no end, just the infinite, undisturbed nothingness of the cosmos. In this deep void, where time itself seems to hold its breath, the universe is in its early years, quiet and waiting. Far beyond our perception, the forces of nature have already begun to shape the universe in ways we are only beginning to understand. It is here, within this timeless expanse, that our story begins. Our home, Earth, is still nothing more than a far-flung possibility, a dream waiting to come to life. But even in this infinite darkness, the very fabric of the cosmos is slowly shifting, preparing for the arrival of something extraordinary. 4.5 billion years ago, the universe was a vastly different place. There was no Earth, no life, no moon. The stars were burning bright, but their formation was ancient, their flickering light millions of years old. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, was already in motion, a swirling spiral of stars, gas, and dust. Yet the stage was being set for a truly remarkable event. Within this galactic sea, there existed a singular, massive cloud of gas and dust, a nebula, the remnants of long-dead stars, drifting aimlessly through the cold, empty space. This nebula was filled with the very building blocks that would one day give rise to everything we know. It contained the seeds of life itself: hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. All the elements that would form not just our planet, but the air we breathe, the oceans we swim in, and the creatures we share this world with. Over the course of millions of years, the cloud of gas and dust began to collapse inward as gravity, the most relentless force in the universe, began to pull it all together. Slowly, the nebula began to spin, pulling itself tighter and tighter, compacting into a disk of swirling material. At the center of this swirling mass, immense pressure and heat began to build, creating an intense gravitational field. And as the forces of nature conspired to condense this cloud, the birth of our sun began. The sun's birth was not an event that simply happened. It was a violent and incredible process, powered by the raw forces of the cosmos. As the pressure increased, the temperature at the center of the collapsing nebula skyrocketed, until, like the spark of a match being struck, fusion began. Atoms fused together, creating immense amounts of energy, and the sun ignited. For the first time, a star was born in the heart of the solar system. But the sun wasn't the only thing being born. As the nebula continued to collapse and the particles of dust began to spin faster, smaller clumps of material began to form. These clumps grew, gradually coalescing into larger and larger chunks. Tiny planetesimals began to emerge from the swirling chaos, miniature worlds in their own right. And it was within this cosmic debris field that Earth's story truly began. Picture the vast, empty darkness being filled with the sound of cosmic collisions. Planetesimals, the building blocks of planets, collide violently, merging into larger and larger bodies. These impacts were not gentle. They were powerful explosions, cosmic fireworks that sent molten rock flying into the atmosphere. The heat from these impacts caused the surface of early Earth to become a fiery ocean of liquid rock. Earth was being born in a furnace of unimaginable temperatures, where gravity was forging a new world out of the very materials that formed stars and planets. Earth's early days were a chaotic whirlwind of destruction and rebirth. The planet was being shaped by cosmic violence, an ongoing process of creation through annihilation. Yet, it was precisely these violent events that made Earth possible. Without these impacts, there would have been no moon, no oceans, and no life. Earth was being sculpted step by step by the incredible forces of the universe, forces that were just beginning to reveal their true power. And then, something extraordinary happened, something so significant it would change the entire course of Earth's history. A Mars-sized object, known as Theia, collided with the early Earth in a cataclysmic impact. The explosion was so massive that it sent shockwaves through the entire solar system. Earth and Theia were torn apart, their molten remnants scattering into space. But from this chaos, something profound emerged: the Moon. The formation of the Moon was no accident. It was an integral part of the cosmic design. The Moon's gravitational pull stabilized Earth's orbit, preventing the planet from becoming a chaotic, unbalanced world. Without the Moon, Earth might have spiraled into erratic, unpredictable climates, unable to support life. The Moon became Earth's silent companion, its pull shaping the tides, the oceans, and the very rotation of the planet itself. As the Moon settled into its orbit, Earth's surface slowly began to cool. The once molten surface solidified into a thin crust, and the first oceans began to form. The young Earth, once a boiling cauldron of fire, was now a world of water and rock, where rain began to fall, collecting in the deep basins of the planet's surface. The oceans were born from the very atmosphere itself, as water vapor condensed and fell, creating the world's first seas. But Earth's oceans were not calm, peaceful waters. They were churning, violent seas, their surface whipped by storms and volcanic eruptions. Yet it was in these primal oceans, these vast, turbulent seas, that life first began to stir, not as complex creatures, but as simple molecules, building blocks of life that, through time, would evolve into something far more extraordinary. Life began in these primordial waters, not as we know it today, but as the simplest of organisms, single cells that could survive in the harsh, toxic environment of early Earth. Yet these simple life forms held within them the blueprint for everything that would come after. Every plant, animal, and human. These cells, over eons, would evolve, adapt, and give rise to the incredible variety of life we see on Earth today. Earth's transformation from a molten rock to a living, breathing planet was not a single moment, but a slow, deliberate unfolding, an evolution that would continue for billions of years. And so, Earth became a planet of life, a world teeming with diversity. From the smallest microbe to the towering trees of ancient forests, from the oceans to the skies, life flourished in every corner of the planet. But even as life grew, Earth itself was still a work in progress. Tectonic plates shifted, continents drifted apart, and volcanic eruptions reshaped the land. Earth was alive, constantly evolving, constantly changing. And now, we stand here today, the products of billions of years of cosmic events, from the birth of stars to the fiery collisions that shaped the Earth. We are a part of this incredible journey, this long, intricate dance of cosmic forces and fragile moments. The Earth we know today is not just a planet, it is a story of destruction and creation, of chaos and order, of fire and water, of life and death. It is a reminder that we are all, in some way, part of the stars, part of the cosmos, and part of something much, much larger than ourselves. And as we look up at the stars, we remember that our journey is far from over. Earth's story is still being written, and as we explore the universe, we carry with us the legacy of all that came before. The legacy of a planet born from the stars, forged in the fires of creation, and alive with the possibility of life.